It was a quiet, snowy evening in the small town of Frostwood, Minnesota, USA, where the streets were blanketed in white and the air was crisp with winter's chill. But on December 18, 2015, the peaceful town was shattered by a crime so brutal it would leave the community in shock for years to come. The victim was 29-year-old Emma Larson, a bright and ambitious journalist who had recently moved to Frostwood to escape the chaos of city life. Emma was known for her investigative work, often digging into stories that others were too afraid to touch. Her latest project had been a series of articles exposing corruption within the local government, and she had been receiving anonymous threats for weeks. But Emma was fearless, brushing off the warnings and continuing her work with unwavering determination. That evening she had been working late at the Frostwood Gazette, the small newspaper office where she spent most of her time. Her colleagues had left hours earlier, and the building was eerily quiet as the snow fell outside. At around 9 p.m., the security camera outside the Gazette's office captured a shadowy figure approaching the building. The person was dressed in all black, their face obscured by a hood and scarf, making it impossible to identify them. The figure slipped inside the building, and less than 10 minutes later, the camera caught them leaving, this time carrying a large duffel bag. The next morning, Emma's editor arrived at the office to find the door ajar and the inside in complete disarray. Files were scattered across the floor. Her computer was missing, and there was no sign of Emma. The editor immediately called the police, who launched a massive search effort. But Emma was nowhere to be found. The only clue was a single drop of blood on the floor near her desk, which sent a wave of dread through the town. As the investigation unfolded, the police discovered that Emma had been working on a bombshell story about a local politician, Mayor Richard Hargrove. Hargrove had been accused of embezzling funds from a town development project, and Emma had uncovered evidence that could have ended his career. When questioned, Hargrove denied any involvement in Emma's disappearance, claiming he had been at a holiday party with dozens of witnesses that night. But the police weren't convinced, especially when they found out that Hargrove had a history of violent behavior and had been sued for harassment by a former employee. The case took a dramatic turn when a local fisherman discovered Emma's laptop in the frozen river just outside of town. The laptop was badly damaged, but forensic experts were able to recover some of the files, including a draft of Emma's article exposing Hargrove's corruption. The police also found a series of encrypted emails between Emma and an anonymous source who claimed to have insider information about Hargrove's illegal activities. The source had warned Emma to be careful, saying that Hargrove had ties to dangerous people who would stop at nothing to protect him. Despite the mounting evidence, Hargrove continued to deny any involvement, and the case began to stall. That is, until a shocking breakthrough came from an unlikely source, Hargrove's own wife, Linda. Linda had grown increasingly suspicious of her husband's behavior and decided to search his home office while he was away on a business trip. There she found a hidden compartment in his desk containing a burner phone, a stack of cash, and a key to a storage unit in a nearby town. Linda turned the items over to the police, who immediately searched the storage unit. Inside they found Emma's missing computer, along with a set of blood-stained clothes and a knife that matched the description of the weapon used in her presumed murder. The evidence was overwhelming, and Hargrove was arrested and charged with Emma's abduction and murder. During the trial, the prosecution painted a damning picture of a man who had used his power and influence to cover up his crimes. They argued that Hargrove had lured Emma to the storage unit under the guise of providing her with more evidence, only to silence her forever. The jury deliberated for less than a day before finding Hargrove guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, bringing a sense of justice to Emma's family and the town of Frostwood. But the story didn't end there. In the years following Hargrove's conviction, more details about his corrupt activities came to light. Investigators discovered that he had been involved in a wide-ranging network of bribery, fraud, and even connections to organized crime. Emma's bravery in exposing the truth had ultimately led to the downfall of a powerful criminal enterprise, but at a devastating cost. Her family established the Emma Larson Foundation, dedicated to supporting investigative journalists and protecting whistleblowers who risked their lives to uncover the truth. Today, a memorial plaque hangs outside the Frostwood Gazette, honoring Emma's courage and the legacy she left behind. The town of Frostwood has slowly healed, but the memory of Emma Larson and the shocking crime that took her life will never be forgotten. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers faced by those who dare to speak truth to power, and the enduring impact of one woman's fight for justice.